Dear friends, welcome to another very exciting episode of the data science tutorials. Today we are going to discuss mean, median, standard deviation, variance, and mode from the first principles. Now, before we proceed to the topic, a small request, please subscribe our channel. We put a lot of hard effort in bringing out this material, in making these videos. If you subscribe the channel, it will give us a lot of motivation. Also for today's class, the file, the notebook file is uploaded to GitHub, and you can download it to the link given in the description. Now let's go to the fundamentals first. Suppose we are looking at a um, array of 5 elements. So this is a vector array which has 5 elements. Then if you want to find the mean, then the sum of all the elements divided by the total number of elements give you the mean. Similarly, the median, depending on whether you have even or odd number of elements, here we will have odd number of elements, 5 elements. Then if you sort it and you find the middle one, then that's a median. And if it is even number of elements, then you have to take an average of the two middle ones. Standard deviation, so we have a array, sorted array, and then we take each element of that array minus the mean, square it, make a sum of all these values, divide by total number of elements, and take the square root. We get the standard deviation. Variance is similar to standard deviation but without the square root. So now, how to get these values? So some of these values we try to get using very mechanically using the numpy function, and then we'll go to the very first principle derivation. So first of all, import numpy as np and import math. These libraries are important. Then you define an array using the numpy array function. Find the length of the array. Here in this case it's 5. Then you run a for loop over the array. So for x in array, x determines a variable which is assigned to each of these elements in the array. And so when you run over them, initializing sum 1 as 0, then you get the total sum 1. So sum 1 divided by the total number of elements is a mean, and it prints out the mean. So mean in this case will be 15 divided by 5 will be 3, and you can see that we have mean as 3. Then the median. So the median, you have sorted array. You find the length of the sorted array, and then you check whether the length modulus operator 2 is equal to 0. That means that it is even. If it is even, then you go to the, so if you have 6 elements here, say suppose, then divided by 2, but double slash means here that you ignore the fractional part. So then what happens is you go to the third element and third indices and second indices. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, and second, if it is a even number of elements. But in our case, it's the odd number of elements. So you have 5 elements minus 1, which is 4, divided by 2, which is 2. So the median is the length 1, which is 2. So 0, 1, 2, which is 3 here is the median. So do you see the median 3? The median is 3. Now standard deviation. Standard deviation, you have this array, says it's sorted array. And in the sorted array, you run it over to the sorted array. And then you have the sum, which is, so let's call it the, actually I want to have this one here because that's what we are dealing with, right? Control C. Want to add sorted array. So you run it over to a sorted array, and then each element in the sorted array minus the mean, square of that, sum to initialize to 0, and then you find the total sum. And so it's like 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 is the mean squared, which is 4. Then 2 minus 3 squared, which is 1, plus 0 plus 1 plus 4, similar way. And then you get 10 divided by 5 total number of elements, you get 2. Square root of 2 is basically your um, standard deviation. And your variance is a sum divided by the total number of elements, which is 2 here. So now you go from first principles, the mode. The mode is more interesting. So what you do for the mode here, for the mode, say you have an array 1 2 3 2 4 5 3 3 4 4. You see 2 is occurring 2 times, 3 is occurring 3 times, and 4 is occurring 3 times. So if you want to find out the mode, the first thing to do is find out two arrays, which is unique elements. How many unique elements are there? Which is 1 2 3 4 5, and a number of counts of each, which is 1, 2 is 2 times, 3 is 3 times, 4 3 times, 5 1 time. And so you say return the counts and the np.unique function, which gives you the unique elements and the counts, right? And you pass on the argument, which is the array. So now you get the indices where you have the maximum count. So you have got a count list, and you find the maximum counts, which is 3, and counts where it is equal to 3, you find the indices of that using argvar. And then it becomes a two-dimensional array, so you flatten it to make it a one-dimensional. That gives you the mode indices. And then once you have the mode indices, then you need to know the mode. So if the mode indices give you 3, then you know where all you have 3. You have 3 and 4, which are repeating 3 times, right? So that gives you the mode. So thanks for watching, and next week you will have more exciting stuff coming up. You have the pandas coming up. Keep watching, and happy learning. Thank you.